but we are one shy of the 2/3 part that we need to approve the bylaw changes. So as soon as one of the other folks arrives, we can do that.
Okay.
So welcome to our holiday season Transit Riders Council meeting. And it's a much nicer day out than it has been. It's actually, you can do it without a muffler on today, so it's very nice. And everything's melting, so that's great. May we have approval of today's agenda? Wonderful. How about the minutes? Has everyone had a chance to look at minutes?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Great. I'll start with the chair's report until we get another person, then we can do the bylaws. So there's lots of good news. That was pretty much the whole feeling in yesterday's full board meeting, and as well as the committee meetings on Monday. I'll get into that good news, but one interesting part is nearly every station is going to get those shark fins and plastic things that prevent you from backcocking on the turnstiles. Right now, 327 of the 472 stations already have those. And
is this the flaps?
no, it's the razor-looking things on the top, so you can't boost yourself over the turnstiles. Although I've seen people with gloves on do it, obviously. And there's a little extension to the bar, so you can't backcock and slip through. So those are getting done pretty well, and they have reduced. They haven't stopped, but they have reduced fare evasion. Of course, if somebody really intends to do that, they're just going to find another entrance to go in where they don't have those, or do it, or wait for the slam gate to open. But ridership is up on the subways, the buses, commuter rail, paratransit. If you've ridden a subway lately, it's standing room only. I mean, it's just amazing to see this again.
I miss COVID.
I wouldn't say that. I'm glad to see all these people riding and doing things for the holidays and going about their business. I don't think we want to see COVID back. It's up on commuter rail as well, and on paratransit. So it's up all around the belt. Great. And on-time performance is markedly up, which is great news. And if you just stand in a station, you can see the service level has improved. It's like the most I think it's ever been, in fact, and they're able to do that by doing more efficient things in other areas, and I'll get into that in a minute. Crime continues to drop. You may have heard the governor had a press conference this morning announcing that it's gone down significantly. It's pretty low. November's was really markedly below last November's, so that's really great news. And the 3 new casinos that have finally been approved are going to be bringing in a decent amount of money for the MTA, and that is additional good news for sure. Because the more places we can get it from, and I'll get into the numbers in a minute. You may have also heard that the A and the C lines are now going to get CBTC all the way from High Street to Lefferts Boulevard, which is major. Dana was he wanted to make sure everyone knew it was the entire line in Brooklyn and into Queens. Obviously, it isn't to Rockaways, but it will go as far as 96th Street.
The Rockaways are outside, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. But, well, that doesn't mean anything, Sharon. They still have to abide by signals. This is signals upgrades to CBTC. But High Street to Lefferts Boulevard is going to be CBTC equipped. And a lot of this is all due to money from congestion pricing, which continues to pay dividends, obviously. Now, listen to this. 5 more stations, thanks to congestion pricing, are going to be made accessible soon. Bryant Park, 42nd Street, 5th Avenue Complex, so that's B, D, F, M, and 7 trains. That's great. Parsons Boulevard on the F line. Briarwood on the E and the F line, and Gates Avenue on the J and Z line.
Oh, yeah, they're happy. You left out Staten Island again.
You cannot?
What a surprise.
Television.
Yeah, that was already announced. Yeah. So that's good. Scott, how many stations do you think now need to be accessible on Staten Island.
It's like 4 or 5 that are,
Or
accessible right now.
4 or 5 are accessible.
Really fix the problem, there's nowhere to put them.
Yeah, that's the problem on some subway lines too, actually. Budget news. Unlike other cities who have large transit systems, none as large as us, obviously, we are not at the fiscal cliff like they are. SEPTA in Philadelphia recently had the governor converted because they were in such deep, you know what, S blank blank T. They converted their capital funding to operating funding, so they didn't have to massively cut service and the fare increase still went in, but that will preserve their service. But as far as losing the capital monies, the legislature doesn't give it back to them in a few years. That means no improvements will happen all over the SEPTA system in Philly. Chicago's facing similar things. We are not. Because each of the operating agency presidents have responded to requests for operating efficiencies by giving $400 and $500 million savings each and every year, that enables the MTA to not be in the same situation as all these other cities. And we have a balanced budget through 2027, then there's like a $160 million deficit, and it grows a little in 28. Those are manageable figures, and with additional funding sources, which it appears we might be getting, that might not be an issue. You have to still be on the alert and make sure you don't overspend, and that's why, there's some controversy over union negotiations in various areas, but we are in decent shape, and that's with additional service. Forget cutting service, and that's with improved signals. We're buying all kinds of cars, new subway cars, new buses. In fact, they just announced that they're buying 100 new clean diesel buses, and those have great performance. So those are coming. I asked during one of the meetings, how come we're still doing that? Why we're not going all electric? And they said, the technology isn't perfect yet, and we need to get these buses because we don't want any hours to fail, and we won't have enough to provide service. And we got a great deal on them, so Nova is providing them, and we will have some good clean diesel buses coming. Now, you're going to hear about Omni today. Obviously, that's one of the points of this. But there was a little session that we heard from Jesse Lazarus yesterday and Jamie Torres Springer. And one of the reasons that this Friday is going to be another shutdown of the system from early in the morning till late at night is because they're making a major change, which should really improve capability and the use of the Omni card, which is, for some reason, Cubic has been storing all of the electronics and the info on Earth as opposed to in the cloud. And Jamie and other tech people said, once this gets in the cloud, everything will be so much faster. The taps will be more efficient. Your accounting will be better if you check your account at omni.info. All of these things should happen after nighttime on tomorrow. By midnight tomorrow, I think, is when everything should be back in, and that's great news, obviously. The F&M swap is going really well. There are a few people who have been quoted who are not happy. They have to make an additional change depending on what their destination is. But EFM&R service through Queens Plaza and just west of Queens Plaza is much improved. Yes, Sharon.
I guess it'd be 24 hours. It's so
I'll tell you why.
When
Because the M train, nights and weekends, only runs from Metropolitan Avenue to Delancey, Essex. It doesn't run along Queens Boulevard, so something has to supply service to Queensbridge, Lexington 63rd, 57th Street. That's why the F goes back to that route at those hours. However, having the M train there during the whole day allows people in the largest public housing complex in the city, Queensbridge Houses, to easily access all of the shopping and malls and everything along Queens Boulevard, where previously they had to make a switch to do that. But the fact that you had an M train having to cross over R's and F's to get to the 63rd Street tunnel, I mean, it's the 53rd Street tunnel was just, it was crazy. And the F train, as you know, used to be in the 53rd Street tunnel with the E train. And I just think this is good, and I think people will get used to it. So we will continue to watch it. Now, my last point will be, you may have heard about the incessant need of a repair to the Grand Central Terminal train shed.
Yes.
Which is along Park Avenue and near J.P. Morgan Chase's home zone. That's their headquarters. Well, there's now a public-private partnership between J.P. Morgan Chase and Vornado Realty and the MTA, and it's bringing in like $75 million. And they are going to work on that very important train shed. We certainly don't want to see this thing collapse and ruin.
Every time I walk out of my apartment, I expect to see a big hole.
Fortunately, it looks like we're not going to get to that. Work has begun, and we got to take care of our, what we have is what every other city would love to have, but if we don't take care of it, we're not going to have it either. That's why massive renovations are happening to stations, to tunnels, to rolling stock, to signals, to every part of the system. And that's why the capital program, which is fully funded from 25 to 29, is so important. And that Grand Central Terminal train shed is part of that capital program. All right, that's pretty much I think I hit on.
You mentioned the casinos. Go back to that about the money.
Potential
Survivorship?
revenue.
Yeah, I mean, the revenue is $500 million per casino, but that could change. We were told that could change.
Where are these people coming from? Are these visitors?
They could be New Yorkers. They could be visitors. There will be one now in the Bronx on the waterfront, one near Mets Willets Point near City Field, and one near the existing one.
Hotels associated with it, restaurants?
Oh, I'm sure there will be all of that, yes.
What's the most of these buildings, from what we saw, I saw layout, they're building a hotel and
Yeah.
a whole another building.
Definitely. There's going to be a lot of... Oh, Kalia's here. Okay, great. She's downstairs.
Yeah, she just texted me. I was just going to tell you.
Okay, so that's great. So,
On the 4-5, there is a track fire or there's smoke at
That was-
14th Street,
yeah.
where?
Jason just told me.
So
Oh.
she is running late.
Trudy, you mean? Yeah, oh, yeah. Something always
Hey,
happens.
that's me again.
Andrew, did they say anything about mitigating runoff from
It lights a truck.
Yes, they definitely did.
and, could you share that?
Yes, starting in the first of the year, there's going to be, when everything is Omni, and no more coins allowed on buses and all of that, they're going to have, they're not the Eagle team, but they're going to be fare checkers on bus lines, and they will ask to see
And if
proof of payment. They'll ask to see your Omni card or your phone.
people refuse, what's the protocol?
I think that they can remove them from the bus.
I have a question about Omni. Did they plan on putting any Omni cards in Grand Central Madison? Because it's a really long walk, like it's there and you realize, like, say you take.
You mean a machine to buy them?
Yes.
I think they're going to be everywhere.
Okay.
I really think that they want everyone, and the commuter rails eventually will be part of Omni too. So putting them in Grand Central Madison, Penn Station, Long Island Concourse, I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Penn
Absolutely.
Station's not so bad because the subway's like right
Either
there,
end,
but
yeah.
in Madison, it's really like a
It's
long walk.
quite a, yeah, it really is.
Andrew,
Yeah.
couple of things. As Karen, I was glad Karen mentioned that because what we're seeing at Grand Central Madison, and Roberto, who just passed you, says hello. What we're seeing in customer service center and the vending machines at that main area,
Yeah.
you'll see two machines will say cash only. One side will say everything. We see 4 machines, and there's a humongous line at Grand Central.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was there helping out, because I was doing Grand Central Madison, and the other one, it was really really hard to see. A lot of people are like, this is the only customer service center. I was like, no, there's other ones. And
Plenty of them.
yeah, and a lot of them didn't realize there's one at Times Square, one at Penn Station, and now 96th Street and Broadway.
Yep.
And soon they're getting ready to open 59th Street Columbus Circle,
Yeah, that's-
which I just saw. And it's just that I just think that once we see 59th Street open, I just hope they can do sometimes videos or send it out to the officials, because sometimes I don't see them waking up and really taking that alert.
Times Square has tons of, Times Square, Grand Central,
Grand Central only had 2
Fulton
staff that
Street,
were there.
96th Street, Penn Station, 168th and 125th Street so far.
Yeah.
Those are the Manhattan ones.
But let me just say this, the one I'm talking about, only Grand Central, the day where I was there, which was Tuesday, had 2 staff. The next day, as I was heading to Court Square, there were finally 3 staff, which is, you're seeing, like, we got to tell them that you need more staff to come, more of them to please, because...
To staff the customer service centers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's getting very heavy. The other thing I just want to add,
It's going to get heavier as we get closer to the end of MetroCard, too, obviously.
Exactly. You took the better word you said. I was at the transit talk yesterday, which the 2 speakers were. I have to say that going to the F&M swap,
Yep.
you didn't see anyone complaining that much, because they said finally the train, they don't have to wait at Court Square when they taking turns what train's going to go first, like the tango dance. Now all of a sudden you're feeling the wind coming through, because we had those Metro cards. The last time we were here, we had them here.
Plus, to make up for the differential between the frequency of the F and the M, they've added M service so that Roosevelt Island and, Queensbridge and Lexington 60,
Yes.
you're not waiting as long as you might otherwise have waited. So service has been added to make that an even easier switch.
Yeah.
Stuart?
Can I go back to Omni for a second?
Sure.
So, they're doing this stuff great. But we spoke about this a long time ago. I call it fair transparency.
Right.
So, for someone who buys with the new fares going into effect, right? For someone who buys a single ride paper Omni card, the fare will not be $3, correct?
Say it again? Will not be what?
$3, the new fare, right?
Paper? I don't know that they
Meaning if machines sell a single ride product,
Yeah, I don't think it's paper, though.
it is paper.
Cardboard paper.
It's cardboard, yeah.
Reinforced
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Paper. But in terms of commuters and visitors, again, that won't cost you dollars. It'll be more money.
I have not heard that, but I can find that out.
Because we talked about this last, there is no visitor card, there's no, but there are advantages in purchasing, cards that have more fare media on them, as opposed to a single ride card. So your ride is gonna cost you more.
I mean, if you have a regular Omni card, that,
We're not talking about a regular plastic Omni
Yeah.
card. We're talking about someone who goes up to the machine.
and just gets a single
and not
ride.
going to be-
Yeah, that might be 3 1/4.
Yeah, it's an extra quarter.
Right, so how it's advertised, I think, is important, so people don't get deluded.
Yep.
The other thing is, we talked about things that we already touted, being able to, with Omni, is commuter rail and trains, like to continue your journey.
Yep.
So will the Omni machines dispense those types?
No, they won't, but
Okay.
they're working on the Train Time app, and Omni will be incorporated in that.
That way, okay. But I still, again, so then back to the other issues, what is the true cost of a single ride?
Anything you want.
So you're saying that the Omni will be ditched through the app?
Yeah. That's how they're gonna incorporate the commuter rails into the system.
Okay.
And Andrew, as Kalia's just coming in, Andrew, I'm waiting for them to let me know when I can test out the railroad machines, because you and I showed you a picture the other week that there was an Omni, looks like thing, like if I tapped it and purchased a train ticket, if I tap my Omni, it may work for me to get on the train with that ticket. It's still,
I haven't seen that.
yeah,
I have to visit one of those.
yeah, and that's what I'm waiting for them because they want me to go test that with a reduced fare Omni.
Okay. Let us know what you find.
Yes, I will keep you informed.
Yeah, I might have to try one of those myself.
Yeah.
We now have our quorum and our 2/3 that we need to amend bylaws. So thank you all for being here and giving me some proxies as well. So, Brian, you want to,
Yeah, does someone want to move the bylaws first
Move it.
into?
I'll let him do it.
Thank you, Stuart.
We're talking about it.
Second.
Thanks, Chris. All right, yeah, if you don't have it, there's a printout. I included the summary that I sent in the email yesterday, along with some definitions of attendance, because I know we had some questions about that at the last meeting, and I wanted to make sure everyone was clear on that. I'll just go through the proposed changes briefly here, so that and feel free to jump in if you have any questions about any of these. So the first, in Article 1, Section 1, we're adding the bike ped member, which came into law a few years ago, and adjusting the number of total members for each council, and then adding the language that clarifies, removing members for failing to meet attendance requirements. And, just so we're clear, you're only in violation of attendance required if you're unexcused for an absence from TRC, which is, if you look at the bylaws, it's 3 consecutive meetings or 6 out of our 11 meetings for the calendar year. We're really just trying to get the people that have fallen off the face of the earth in this situation, not people who are in regular contact and coming when they can, So that's really, we had someone on one of our other councils, we hadn't heard from them for multiple years. So that is why we decided to add this in there, so we had a clear course of action to take, and had some discussion with the governor's office on what would be the most appropriate language to put in there.
we waited years before we did something about it?
We did reach out multiple times over the course of that period, and, finally we're able to get them to resign a couple months ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Okay. And
Did
did you send it to the person that
In the
appointed
book.
them as well?
Yeah, we had contacted them.
They were made aware that they were removing.
Yeah, we.
Good, because that doesn't reflect very well on the people that appointed them, so.
Correct, but as is typical, it wasn't the person in office who had appointed them to begin with anymore.
Of course.
So when elected officials change, the connection is sometimes not as strong. Any questions about that first one? Article 3, Section 1 removes the TRC-specific 3-person executive committee, changes election dates from June to May to be in alignment with the other councils, and change the frequencies of election to every other year, also to be in line with the other councils, which do in every other year election. So that would be for chair and vice chair of TRC.
There's other councils?
Brian?
Yeah.
Question, how about exec members?
We are removing the TRC executive committee. What we are doing what we talked about last meeting, if you recall, was that if there are issues that come up at TRC, they can be brought to the PCAC executive committee, which is made up of the 3 chairs plus another member of their choosing, and any items can be discussed in that forum.
So that means me, Stewart, will be no longer exec members.
Of
Executive.
TRC, correct. I mean, it wasn't the other councils don't have an executive committee. It didn't seem necessary to have a PCAC executive committee and a TRC executive committee. All right, Article 4, Section 2 adds language, very standard language about us producing meeting agendas, minutes, and records. It was, for some reason, in the other councils' bylaws, but not TRC's, so we added that. And then Article 4, Section 7 changes approvals of statements and press releases from the executive committee to the chair, which is how we were actually doing things. So that's why we decided to make that change, and the, executive committee is going away as well.
Are you gonna review the attendance definitions?
I'm happy to go through them, yeah.
Because there's some confusion, I think.
Okay, let's do that. So just to be clear on how we look at attendance, and this is reflected in the minutes, for each meeting, where we see that they're present or absent. If you do not attend a meeting in any way, shape, or form that includes virtually, without notifying us, that's an unexcused absence. If you let us know that you can't make it because you're sick or you're out of town for some reason, whether work or vacation or whatnot, typically we count that as an excused absence, and then we'll mark you as absent here, but in our official records, we'll not count that against you. We don't want you coming if you're not feeling well, and if you don't feel up for attending virtually either, we totally understand. So again, this is in terms of asking people to step down and so forth, just for extreme cases, not trying to be punitive in any way, shape, or form. So that's the excused absence. Present virtually, meaning that you attended, and are therefore not absent, but you don't count towards a quorum because you haven't provided us a alternative address or some other way to be counted towards a quorum. This is the subject to the New York State Open Meetings Law, which may change in a year's time. We will see. The current law is up. We've been engaged in discussions on what the replacement might look like to be a little more flexible than what it currently is. But right now, this is what we're operating under. So you are present and count towards a quorum. You're either here in person, thanks for such great attendance today, attending virtual and offering the alternative address to a public location, or you're joining virtually but unable to travel, including to an alternative public address due to a mobility issue of some kind.
And these definitions are not memorialized in the text, subject to change.
Right, and that's so it's
Right.
subject to the open meeting
Right.
law, which all public entities like ours are subject to. And I do expect them to change in one way, shape, or form in about a year's time.
I'm just curious, why is it so important in this current definition to have an alternate location when people come here as guests, right? They can just, and they can also call in, right?
Yes.
So why is it so important that there's an alternate?
It's a good question.
Members of the public, it's a public person, they're allowed to call in and join, but as a member of the council, you have to provide a public address.
Why did they write the law that way?
Right, that's what
I
I'm saying.
am not clear to
But
be.
is it like when you're there?
People who actually can.
Right, because if you can come here as a guest, and if you can do it online, then I really don't understand.
So does it have to be the address that you're actually at? That was what I was confused
Yes,
about
it
the
does,
last
yes.
time. Because I love the public, but no, you can't sit in my living room with me.
The one way that some members of our other committees have been doing this, especially when they're out of town, is providing an address that they could feasibly go to. And if, like a library or someplace nearby, that if there were a member of the public who were interested in attending at that address in, I don't know, Maryland, that they could go and join them there. But they would only do that if there were someone interested. So I think that's a gray area, but it's one that some members of our committees have explored.
So here's the thing, so if they go and join me at the library, how would they engage with me?
You could set up a laptop and both join virtually.
Right.
So it's basically.
But that's
our
it's on my
responsibility.
phone?
It is.
Sure.
Oh, that's the part that.
As a member,
Yeah.
you would be
That-
providing them access to the meeting.
But then,
down.
yeah, no, not for
Well, see the chair.
If I had a, a laptop, that's where I go. Listen to me, come on, I'm really not gonna.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I get Trudy.
And Karen, to be clear, this is the part of the law that we'd really like to see changed, because it's unnecessarily confusing, and, we think that if you're attending virtually and you're able to participate in the discussion, that you should be counted towards the quorum as well.
Have we spoken to our elected officials about that?
Yeah, so that's, I think, what's under consideration this coming year.
Yesterday, I was talking to
Are they responsive?
It's a pain for all states.
But thank you for that clarification, because I was not aware of that aspect.
It's from the pre-COVID era, I think, before people were commonly Zooming into meetings, they had that clause in there, and then they had to adjust it slightly,
Yeah,
and
it's time for
they
a
haven't
change.
caught up yet.
That's for sure.
For the record, you don't answer the address because we're annoying nitpickers,
Really?
We're trying to do the,
Yeah.
comply with the letter of the law.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
If I may
Maybe.
interrupt for 1 minute, because I've been getting calls all week. I've been flat on my back with my leg, but because I wanted to make sure that I was a quorum, and I called yesterday. I got out and I left myself a lot of time. Anyway, on the number 6, I sat in the station, didn't come for like almost 10 minutes at my station, and then when we got on. Anyway, they did not announce why trains were sitting or not doing or anything. Finally, at Grand Central, which is where I usually switch to take the 4 or the 5, I'm doing this like a customer, not but because I've been getting so many calls about that the system was screwed up, quote unquote. 2 people said to me, they said, your trains are screwed up. Well, today was beyond, I called Andrew once to say that I was coming in because I was, in case you needed a quorum, but it just sat there. Finally, they made an announcement at Grand Central, which is where I would switch from the 6 to the 4 or the 5, that there was a track fire, so that they had not announced this. There was trains weren't moving or anything else. And so I am now a living example, barely, of communications problems. The trains, if they are holding the trains at various stations, somebody must have known that there was and I can't tell you the various sounds that were emitting from various other passengers and words that even I have been known to use 4-letter words, but there were 4-letter words coming out of other passengers that I had never even
I don't know if
heard.
we need those details, but okay.
No, I'm giving you the details because we've got to do something about this. At least if there is a track fire, that an announcement is made right away, instead of just holding the train forever and ever. I am now speaking like a passenger.
Okay, we have to get back to our discussion, because we're in the middle of this bylaws change discussion.
Well, that's why I schlepped in here with my bad leg, and I can't tell you.
Now you can sign cards, schleppily yours.
Andrew, that is not funny, and you, of all people, know what I'm going through with this thing.
All right, where were we? We were on the,
Bylaws.
I know that, Chris.
Attendance.
Attendance definitions, right,
That's what I
okay.
was gonna say.
Are those clear to everyone? Is there any follow-ups? Oh, great. Any additional discussion, or are we ready to vote?
We're ready to vote.
I'm ready, yeah. Brian, I'd like to make a motion to approve the updated bylaws and everything.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Okay, and I have 2 proxies here from folks, so let's vote. All in favor?
Hooray!
Okay. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining?
No.
No.
All right, thanks so much, everyone, appreciate it. Immediately.
Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah, immediately. Okay, so,
One more question. Have the other councils completed their votes?
MNRCC is done. We haven't had a quorum with for Long Island since, so, hopefully in January.
But NYCTRC adopted the...
Yeah, they adopted them. They had fewer changes.
Okay.
And then PCAC, we obviously didn't have 2/3 last time. I'll be doing proxy ballots for those of you that aren't able to make the next PCAC meeting, in hopes of getting to 2/3 for PCAC.
Great. This may be of interest. I just got an email, I guess because I'm on that SWAG group, the Station Working Advisory Group, that the three of us are on for Penn Station transformation. It says, as the Penn Station transformation project moves forward, we wanted to share an exciting update. Earlier this week, December 16th was the deadline for proposers to submit letters of interest to be the master developer for the Penn Station transformation project. We have received 4 submissions that are now under review by Amtrak Procurement and will be evaluated by the Technical Evaluation Committee for standard Amtrak procurement policies. We will issue the request for proposals to shortlisted firms in January. Amtrak is energized by the strong interest in this project and remains committed to a competitive procurement process. So that's moving forward, and we may get a name in January.
No problem.
So
Don't be mad.
we will see.
I will not tolerate you speaking that way. Excuse me? I didn't say anything wrong, Trudy. It's always the same thing with you.
Let it go. Yeah, I'm trying to...
Brian,
Sure.
I think we're up to your report now.
Great. The big thing that I wanted to update you on, last Friday, we released a white paper with support from Riders Alliance and the Community Service Society on the future of the Fair Fares program. In it, we laid out a number of steps for expansion that we'd like to see with the new mayoral administration. We've been big supporters of this program for a number of years now. We think there's an opportunity to expand the reach and depth of affordability that's offered in the program. The recommendations, we have 5 of them. The first being expanding the program to 300% of the federal poverty level to finally get minimum wage workers or those making close to it eligible for half fares. The second is fully free at the current level, which is 150% of the federal poverty level. Just to be clear, those users would still need a free fare card to enter the system and would be required to tap just like everyone else in order to come and go. But these are that's a deepening affordability piece that we think is important. The third was expanding fare fares to the commuter rails and express buses in New York City. I'll be quite honest that I think that's the most optimistic recommendation that we made. May take more time to implement, but a half-price city ticket or half-price express buses really would be transformational for folks with some of the longest commutes in the city that don't have great subway access. Our fourth was to reform the enrollment process to make it more automatic. Right now, only 1/3 of eligible New Yorkers are taking part in the Fair Fares program. We'd like to see that increase. Places like Philadelphia have implemented automatic enrollment and seen about 2/3 of their users use the program. So we know HRA knows who's on SNAP and getting home energy assistance or on City FEPS or whatever other programs that they offer.
It's a great option and it's smart.
Yeah, why not just get them on the Fair Fares? They've got their info already. They can do it.
And I saw it over the weekend, and
yeah.
it was one of the things I reposted on my social media. So, do we direct people to HRA? Is that their only avenue for them to qualify?
Yeah, since it's a city program and the city funds it, the city runs it. And the MTA has taken steps to be more involved in being able to sign folks up, but ultimately it's an HRA program. They have to go through HRA to sign up for it. And then the final step is, one we've heard from you, Deborah, often, and has continued to be a focus, and that's making sure that, folks that are getting fair fares for Access-a-Ride between ages 18 and 64 are able to continue getting that discount once they turn 65. So that's one other piece that I think gets forgotten a lot. Not here, not in this room, but
Thank you, Brian.
but we wanted to make sure to include that.
She's smiling, Brian. Don't unmute. I got it. She's saying thank you.
Karen?
So with the fares for the commuter rails, is it just the reduced, amount, or is it also considering, is it an either or including, the bus?
Well, we kind of went for an all of the above, both a half-price city ticket with free transfers. I think all of those would be up for debate if that were to be seriously
Because they did the
considered.
pilot with Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that kind of went away, and I mean, that was a game changer.
No, with the Atlantic ticket.
Yeah.
It's still the city ticket.
Yeah, but you don't get the transfers anymore when you do the weekly one.
No, I just wanted to make sure we're all clear, yeah.
We are still fighting to bring that back in a more citywide, version.
Because, it's, as I said in my, testimony, you're penalizing people who don't have, a better way, otherwise their commute is listening wrong. It's a penalty, almost like a tax, for people living further out.
Definitely.
And I'll just note, I know this came up last month, we've been continuing to update the administration, the governor's office, anyone that will listen to us, city council members, anyone that'll listen to us about what we would like to see, and I think have had some productive conversations about that. So, this will come to shove come budget season this coming year, but we wanted to be out early with what we thought would be good options, and put them on the table now. Could discuss them over the coming months.
Bumping up the fair fares program to a much more realistic figure will be a way to fund buses for those who cannot afford it, as opposed to, free buses would allow millionaires to ride for free. So this gets help to the people that need it, and might even get it automatically, depending on what we do. It might just be, automatic.
Just to add one thing, because two things. Ladies on that side, when you get a chance, because Debbie just asked, she likes to hear your voice.
Oh, I apologize.
I just want to let you know, because she's agreeing with you what you're saying, but she's saying thank you. Second question is, Brian, Debbie, just to save time, and I don't know, because I know we have a schedule, I don't know, because I right now with the agenda's going a little. Debbie want to say thank you, Brian,
Sure.
and the PCAC team.
Yeah, of course.
Because Alicia gave her a Hanukkah gift without wrapping it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, we'll don't unwrap it yet. We still got to get the policy.
It's still a good gift now.
It's in the
Cool.
conversation.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
in the
still can
conversation.
be bring something up on.
Cool. In addition to that, in addition to some of the city things that we've been pushing, fair fares and free bus, or faster buses, being the big ones. We were also prepping for the Albany session. Jack, do you have any updates that you wanted to share on legislative stuff?
No major updates. We have, planning. I think of all the years, we're probably the most proactive this year. We're meeting with elected officials about the agenda that you all reviewed, I think, at least a couple months ago now. And we're going to have another legislative breakfast in Transit Equity Day, which is, actually the day after Transit Equity. And that's really it. That will be February 5th? 5th. February 5th.
Equity Day is the 4th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And Karen, just so you're aware, as far as bringing back the Atlantic ticket in a new form, that's part of our one city, one fare bill that would combine all the city fare zones, of which there are, we decided 6, right?
Yeah.
Combine them into one.
And Henry's been working on a great, booklet to kind of illustrate how absurd the current status quo is.
Now, I know the MTA has been touting their unlimited, daily ticket. Do we have an idea, do we know the cost of that unlimited daily ticket that they keep talking about?
The day pass,
Yes.
it's the cost of 2 one-way peak tickets.
For $14.
For the city ticket, yes. So there's no off-peak. Yes, it will
Oh, that's right.
go up. That's for any
I've
zone.
already forgotten.
Two
about this.
peak tickets. So off-peak, it's not really financially as good of a deal.
Does the card know that automatically, or do you have to register that you want a one-day, whatever?
I think you have to purchase the ticket option, because they
Yeah.
are getting rid of round-trip tickets.
Right.
So instead of buying a one-way, you would buy the day pass, go to buy a ticket.
Kara, do you have any research updates on stuff coming down the pike?
Yes, we have a few things in the works right now. One, again, Stuart will be happy to hear once again that we are working on some ridership modeling. The early stages of data are showing, as the MTA has sort of said, that it is a little bit difficult to show exactly why ridership goes up at certain stations, and so we're trying to figure out the best way to represent that data and also just show the other potential reasons, whether it's congestion pricing or service outages or other kinds of housing growth around the city, why and where ridership is growing. So Benji's been working on some maps and also some scatter plots and charts to show, hopefully, that we can release in early January. And then we're also working on an IBX report, also looking at the ways that ridership is currently using the new IBX, or soon to be IBX route, and where people live that would most benefit from that.
Yeah, so when we originally talked about this, we were thinking of impact from congestion pricing. You know, endpoints or near the boundary period.
Yes.
Have we been looking, or can we look at bus ridership at or near those boundaries?
So bus ridership is a little bit trickier to model because there isn't a
You don't know
subway
the point
station.
of origin.
Exactly, yes. So we can look at bus routes, but it's a
Right.
little bit more difficult to see exactly where along the route people have started
Right.
riding.
Right.
And even with the subway station data, we're experimenting with different months to compare and just looking at whether it's January this year to last year or summer months. We're looking at all possible options to see which months have the most interesting takeaways and what we can conclude from those. But we will see if there's any bus data that we can incorporate.
Have we heard anything anecdotally from the community boards, near the boundaries, about impacts? Negative or positive? Negative or positive?
We have not personally heard anything about that. I think the concern was always about parking, I think,
Right.
in terms of, less so on ridership, but we've heard concerns before congestion pricing about residential parking
I
permits.
haven't heard that since.
We haven't heard anything since, really, so that is good news.
Thank you.
Question, just because I'm sorry, I was helping signing in. We're talking about the IBX, am I correct? Because I lost a few seconds.
Yes, we're just working on a research project about the
I was at a
IBX.
meeting on Monday. Community Board 5 is supporting it,
Oh,
the
great.
IBX,
Very good.
and they've been asking for a presentation on it. It's 5 and 4, and 17 are definitely supporting it. So to add Stuart, I was at 5 because they asked me to come in to help doing Omni information as my other title.
Brooklyn.
Yes, I was just going to say Brooklyn. I was.
We have those numbers in Manhattan.
Yes, I was just going to say Brooklyn. You just backed me up, Trudy. Thank you. As I'm saying is they are supporting it. They're asking for a presentation. So on the Brooklyn side, it's good. We're just going to have to work on the Queens side because there's some rough going on. I'm not barking,
Yeah.
Andrew. I'm saying
You
it's.
sure?
No, I'm serious because the
Okay.
way they were barking, they were acting inappropriate. Trust me on that.
No, there's some mixed feeling in the Glendale, Maspeth area. I
Yeah.
understand that.
I saw it myself because they were disrespectful, and Caitlin agreed. They were disrespectful to the government relations, and they weren't showing respect even to seniors and disabled people. And they're forgetting that this gives them an option to go from a part of Queens to transfer and to Brooklyn, and they don't realize maybe people want to go to Coney Island or learn the history of that neighborhood.
Yes,
Anyway,
absolutely.
So I just want to thank you, Stuart.
I think we're pretty much done, and we can, if there's anything else, we can follow up after the presentation, so.
great. So, our speakers are here, and, there's been a lot of questioning about conversion and if Omni will eventually give all of the information on screens that MetroCard gives now, and if it will be more user-friendly than it is now. And I told everybody about the shutdown happening this Friday, where Jamie explained at our meeting yesterday that everything is going to be going to the cloud versus on Earth, and that should make things much faster and more efficient. So I'll let you take it away.
Sure. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Chris Papangero. I'm the Deputy Chief Customer Officer, and with me I have Jen Benepe, who is the Director of Quality Assurance under Customer. And we're here today to kind of give you a briefing on Omni and bring you up to speed, at least on the customer side, all the work we've been doing to make sure most of it you've heard, but there's some information here that, we do a lot behind the scenes to make sure that customers are aware of everything that's going on, and we want to make sure that they're on board. So, have a clicker or?
Looks like case.
That's fine.
Yes,
Great.
or if you'd like to, you can.
No,
That's fine. So, as many of you know these dates, I just want to take the opportunity to review them. December 31st, obviously, is the last day that anyone can reload their Metro card. On January 4th, the new fares go into effect on subways, buses, Metro North, and Long Island Railroad. And later in 2026, at some point in time, Metro cards will no longer be accepted, and at that time, coin payments on local buses will no longer be accepted either. So moving on from there, here's a quick review, again, out there in terms of our fare changes, which we've been working really hard to make sure we're communicating to customers. The base subway and bus fare will be $3. Reduced fare will be $1.50. The 12-trip fare capping over the 7 days will be $35. That includes a discount of $1. On express buses, the base fare will go up to $7.25, while the fare cap will be $7. And on the next slide, the good news here, I believe as of yesterday, we're at 94%, all trips are being used by Tap and Ride. But the good news here, story is, Tap and Ride is also providing more access, more flexibility, and more ways for riders to manage their fare than MetroCard ever did. And in fact, 94% of reduced fare trips are now made by Tap at Swipe. So that's an interesting statistic, and obviously less than 5% of trips are made on prepaid weekly and monthly Metro cards. Moving on to the next slide. A lot of information here to take in, so I'm going to take some time to go through these slides so we make sure you understand about all outreach that we've done, all the prep ahead of the fare changes, and we've done an unprecedented outreach in advance of the Omni transition, right? We've speaking with thousands of our customers and have been proactive on educating customers on Omni. And ahead of the fare changes, we have made reaching out to our customers our top priority. We have customer service interactions at stations, mobile vans, 511 contact centers, through engagement and through our Omni 877 number. Engagements would mean the feedback form as well. There's chat, there's social, there are all the different multi-channels we have. 511 is our contact center at New York City Transit, where if you call, we can address any concern you have with New York City Transit, and they have any kind of information. They can also take any kind of incidents and cases.
I didn't know what it was. Have we been publicizing that?
Yeah,
it's been out there
around for a long time, and it's listed at all our stations and our contact information online as well. And as you know, we built out a 24/7 customer service centers, now increased to 22, and going up to 30 soon. Our government and community relations group has reached out to more than 100 different senior centers, houses of worship, hospitals, NORCs across the city, partnering with elected officials and nonprofit groups that work specifically with older adult populations to educate them on how to use their Omni card and answer any questions about the transition to Tap and Ride. That in-person direct outreach will continue through 2026. And we have held events like the Omni Card giveaway, Goodbye Metro Card. My group also sponsors Transit Talk. We had one last night. Chris was there. We had 6 of those events those years. We also stood up 4 fair events per month for a total of 48 this year. And our communications take advantage of our vast digital and print network, which, millions of eyes are on that throughout the system, and as well as our social media communications on the website. That pretty much sums up pretty much the full engagement of what we've done here so far. Moving on to the next slide. Go down, great. This pretty much here is the MTA customer service is one of the core groups responding to customers and also bringing that information to people within the MTA organization, right? We're doing a lot of back-channeling, which are our own departments, to make sure that information is concise, succinct, being, provided to everyone to make sure we're all aligned and on the same page and we're saying the same thing. We have a contact center as well as the ability to text us, and we respond to contact us inquiries online. We have a dedicated team developing responses for Omni issues, and our quality assurance provides ongoing feedback to product development and executive staff about the issues that our customers are facing. Again, at our expansive network, texting to 212 MTA info is something we started in 2024. It's a very interesting concept because sometimes you're on a train, you might not have a signal. It's very easy to just text us at 212 MTA info. We'll get the text and you'll get a response. It's like talking to a friend, but yet that creates a case. It allows us to put that into Cassie, which is our Salesforce system, one of the best in the world in terms of having a 360-degree view of the customer as well. Next slide. So here is what we're going to talk about Omni provides, in terms of flexibility and access. As an overview, I would like to focus in on the advantages of the Omni system. You can use any chip-enabled credit, debit card to tap into the system. We offer trip and charge history to both Omni account holders and those who prefer not to create an account online can get 7 days of history. You never have to worry about how much money is left on your card, as you can manage it online or load it at one of the extensive retail store networks. I believe at last count there were about 2,700, and that number can increase as long as people keep recommending places to add. So if you know of any and you want to pass the word on, that would be a great start for them to apply, and we'll definitely be reviewing any kind of requests that come in on that note. I will go through all of these in the following slides, so we won't miss a beat. Next one. Okay. So Omni means riders don't have to go into a station to see their balance. They can check it in anytime, anywhere. That's a huge convenience and major savings in time, right? If you go online to omni.info, you can see 7 days of trip and tap history without having to create an account. However, if you do create an account and add your Omni card as a travel card, you can see 90 days of trip and charge history and even download receipts for payments. Next slide, please. It only takes about 5 minutes or less to create an Omni account. There you can see your progress to fare capping, view your free transfers, and set up manual or automatically loads to your Omni card. More good news is we're actively improving balance and trip history, features with expanded trip history available on omni.info, rolling out to the MTA app in 2026, and clearer displays are on the way.
Now, when you say that, are you referring to screens in the stations?
That and the app, right?
And the app.
Yeah, which we're creating, which will be coming into the later part of 2026. So the MTA app will, again, have the ability to provide, Omni customers with that information.
Will screens in stations be before late 2026?
In terms of the timeline, I'm not sure. I mean, Cubic has our list of items that I know they're working diligently to meet that goal. But I believe that is a priority, and what we've heard is that that's something that they're working on to do rather quickly.
Thank you.
Question. So this would only work if you had an actual Omni card, not if you used a credit card or another card to pay for your fare.
Actually, it would. You would just create an account at omni.info.
You could?
Yeah,
You could?
absolutely.
Okay,
And it
so
would,
that's, so I think the public needs to.
With a particular credit card, and then you always, so you have an Omni card, go online and you register and you put that particular credit card in, and then you can either tap the card or the Omni card.
Yeah, so if you wanna track both credit card and the Omni card, if you're using them interchangeably, both in as travel cards instead of payment cards.
But the reason you wouldn't want to do that, Sharon, is because
Fare capping,
your fare
Fair capping
your
is linked to one.
one card.
Only one.
So
But you
that's
could,
great.
but you could.
You could, yeah, but you
could, you
might
could.
not get the advantage as quickly on your fare capping.
Yeah.
if you're planning to travel more than 12 times a week, we would highly suggest you just tie in one, right?
Card.
You what?
Tie it into one
Or
card.
just,
card.
or just use one.
Then you get the free ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to register that on.
In omni.info, sure.
Register the particular credit card on your app.
Yes.
Not to get fare capping, but to actually get the, have the ability to make sure you're getting fare capping, right? So, yeah.
Yes.
But you don't automatically get after 13 rides, it's free.
No, you do.
After 11.
After,
Whatever it's.
At 12, excuse me, 12.
Yes, you do.
yeah.
Seven on the one card,
Huh?
seven on the one card.
Full fare.
On the card you're
On the card you're
consistently using.
We did that and it.
But the point of the question was, I think we should let the public know that they would get the same beneficial information regardless if they can act an actual Omni card versus.
You gotta be careful what you're saying, 'cause
Sure.
you too.
And that's the message that I think.
Correct, that's
Right.
the
Right.
Sure.
Reduce
to be able to see the
This
benefits.
I've brought up at other meetings, and I don't know if it's been answered or what, but is there still a charge, a non-refundable charge, and it doesn't count as a fare, to purchase, that word, Omni card?
It depends when you get it. If you got it now, if you turned in your MetroCard during our free offer period, there's zero charge.
No, I am talking about if I'm in CVS, and there's a whole thing of different cards that I can buy, or gift cards, and there is also an Omni card, and that's for that. I brought this up, and I'm glad I was able to get in here, because it doesn't seem like it's been answered yet or done something with. If you just want to get an Omni card, this was even before the free giveaway and all the rest, and you're in CVS and you want to get an Omni card the same way you would get a
Gift card or.
gift card or something, is there still a charge for that?
There is, but we are offering $4 back to the customer.
How do they know that?
They have the records.
No, but does the customer know that? Is it on the same,
I think they're gonna find out soon.
well, no, but they may not want to.
So
I mean,
there's
if
a
the
$1 charge.
Omni card is mixed in with the card for, I don't know, Barnes and Noble.
She's about to give you the answer, Trudy.
So they will find out at the point of purchase, but
From whom?
I actually haven't gone to the store and done this myself, but they will charge the
It
$5.
might be a good idea to do it, because the last call I got, one of the reasons that I schlepped in here today was to deal with this, because people seem to think, because I've been with the MTA for about 110 years, and it's close to my age, that I know the answers. And one of the things that I keep on hearing is about, why do I have to pay for this Omni card if it's just something new and wonderful and whatever, so.
So it's only $1 at the CVM, in the station. It is $5 at the retailer. I'm not sure if they're gonna be taking the $5 off from this
Well,
point.
maybe they
Wait, let me finish. I'm not sure if they're taking the $5 off from this point forward, but they are reimbursing people who paid $5 since October 2023. $4, so it's only $1 at this point, so it's equivalent to buying it at the machine.
Well, maybe there should be some kind of a notice or a sign or something, or that people know this. As I said, and this is as of 3 days ago, I've been flat on my back with leg so that I get a lot of phone calls and I answer them.
Okay.
So, and as of 2 days ago, I was still receiving that question about,
As of right now, it's $1. Best bet, if you're worried about spending $5, we don't have an answer for you at this very moment.
I'm not I don't.
No, I don't mean you, I mean,
I am talking about, but I don't have the time.
Please let her finish. Yeah, go ahead.
It's $1 at the station. I'll give you an answer. I'll follow up with the team about the $5 at the retailer, but I know that people who have paid $5 in the past will be getting reimbursed $4.
But they don't know that.
Well, they will soon.
Okay, I would suggest that at the place where the OmniCard is sold, and it's
Okay.
that something be put either on the OmniCard in the future or on the stand where it is that says just what you are saying now.
Okay, we'll go.
As a
Thank you.
point of personal privilege, so that people don't keep asking me this
Sharon?
dumb question.
But you can avoid that whole issue by just registering a particular credit card.
You can.
Correct.
Or OmniCard. Yeah.
Correct.
But they have to buy the OmniCard in order to register it.
Well, right now, you don't have to buy it, and we still have, enough. If you have an old MetroCard that you want to convert, you can go in and get a free OmniCard till supplies run out, and that's it. We had it originally at 15 locations, now it's only 12 because we ran out at 3 of those locations.
Awesome.
Grand Central.
We'll be finished, sure.
Yeah.
So, our next slide. So, did you know that we have 2,700 retail citywide where you can, customers can buy and reload their OmniCard? Although you cannot buy reduced fare and fair cards at our retail network, you can reload your reduced fare card at those locations.
That's what I was just talking about.
Yeah. So since these locations accept cash, it is also a great alternative for EBT card holders as these cards do not have chips. Retailers can make 25 cents for every Omni card sold, 1% of customers' initial value load, and 3% on all subsequent reload values on their existing cards. Card, please. Okay. One of the best initiatives developed by the MTA is the implementation of the customer service centers. Now we have 22 open, and soon we will have 30. These locations are staffed 24/7. They are currently providing free OmniCard transfers for MetroCard while supplies last. To date, in 2025, customer service centers have completed about 240,000 MetroCard to Omni balance transfers and signed up 50,000 new reduced fare customers. Next slide, please. These locations here are our customer service centers, are staffed 24/7. They are currently providing free OmniCard transfers for MetroCard while supplies last. The 3 locations Jennifer mentioned that no longer have free OmniCards are Grand Central, Times Square, and Main Street Flushing. They also provide help for Omni, as well as on-the-spot Omni reduced fare for seniors, Medicare cardholders, and commission for the blind cardholders. They provide assistance for reduced fare applications and kiosks for fair fare applications. For those of you that are not familiar, these customer service centers have an iPad kiosk where you can, actually apply for fair fares now. You'll be able to do the first step in order for you to be able to apply, and that's a program we're pushing hard for customers who meet the eligibility to be able to apply at those locations.
If I may.
Hold it, Trudy, 1 sec. That's kind of misleading up there, because if you read that, it looks like the G train is stopping at Times Square.
Sorry, that was me. I just copied and pasted.
Sorry.
I have a question. So,
I
have a question. So, sorry, Trudy. So it appears that all these stations, as I'm looking, these are all accessible stations, right? That we're looking at. Thank you. So that customers with disabilities can all access these customer service
I would have to check.
We
But
need to
if there's
get
like
back to you. I believe they are to that point, but we will need to get back to you on 100%.
I can back you up, Chris, the answer is yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Good.
Now I know the answer to my problem. Looking at where all of these are located, I don't see anything on the Upper East Side or even anywhere on the East Side.
125th Street.
125th Street is not the Upper East Side. I'm talking about anything from 14th Street or, you know, all the way up, nothing. Not 59th Street, not, you know, the classic stations. And that's why my phone is ringing off the hook. Now I understand is there a possibility of opening?
Well, we can definitely take that back, Trudy. In terms of locations, 34th Street, Penn Station would be a major.
34th Street, Penn Station is the west side.
Got it.
There is nothing at Grand Central, Grand Central, I'm sorry.
Down.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Central, but nothing between Grand Central and 125th Street,
There is.
which I think is a west side. The
Oh, that's right, they
125th
moved
Street is west side and east side.
Could I suggest that we finish the presentation first and then do a round of questions after?
So the next slide, Omni comes to you too. As you know, we have our mobile vans, and you can refill Omni card transfer values from Metro cards to Omni, transfer and get assistance on obtaining a reduced fare card. But we also ask our customers to please call 511 before heading out to see where their van is parked or if there's a delay, especially during New York City gridlock days. That's another way where vans are going into communities that are, farther away, maybe from CSCs and so
So
forth.
Trudy, sorry to, in answer to your question, we have a few mobile vans going to the Upper East Side.
I would suggest that you have at least one Upper East Side location.
We'll take that back.
Okay, that's my suggestion.
Sure.
Okay.
When the elevator work is done at 86 and Lex, that would be a great location.
Most likely, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that's in between, that's perfect, but right now, Andrew, unless you're hiding something from me, I've talked to you about this. Yep, okay, anyway, that's my suggestion, whatever it's worth.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, thank you. Okay, next slide. Help with Omni is more available than ever before from the warmth of your apartment. We recently extended the hours of our Omni call center, and they are open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. We also stood up an additional Omni Center here at 2 Broadway at 511, reachable Monday through Friday from 8 to 8. But did you know you can have many of your questions answered by calling 511 and talking to our helpful interactive voice response system? Also, you can help yourself with the digital assistant at omni.info or use the call-in system to tap in your card number and make the inquiry that you're looking to. Next slide, please. Here is a summary of the ways in which we are communicating about Omni and the fare changes with our customers. We have a lot of the various campaigns that most of you have seen out in the system. And, we have for you today some of the samples as well that we'll be going through. Next slide. I would also like to reflect quickly on the communication strategy by our creative group. Over the past 3 years, colleague Gene Ribeiro and his folks have been building messaging based on customer feedback. Also, learning how to educate our customers better about how to use Omni. Fortunately, we can use our own assets, which includes over 10,000 digital screens across the 5 boroughs. Next slide, please. And this is where our feedback loops really come into play. When we meet with customers face-to-face at Transit Talks or directly on the phone or listen to them through email, we learn what their specific concerns are, and we can, in return, address those in the creative process. Much of our communication is translated into the MTA's top 8 languages, so we can reach people who have English as a second language as well. Next. A further way to bring customers in and pay attention is the transition to Omni and to make it fun. We hosted several events with food providers as well. We also are collaborating on social with Cardi B, Andy Cohen, Grouch from Sesame.
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to go over some of the resources.
We know how to find him.
Next slide, please. I would like to go over some of the resources available to the public. Of course, visit our website, special fare change page, and you can always contact our contact center at 511 or call the Omni call center or visit omni.info. Thank you for your time, and let us know if you have any questions. That's great.
Great. I have a very important question because, I just want to make sure everyone heard me. Because some people are saying they can't hardly hear my voice, so I'm making sure you can all hear me in Zoom land.
Calm yourself.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
As you know, there's one thing that you mentioned full fare. We also got to remember reduced fare and accessoride.
Sure.
And the reason I'm going to say it, that's why I'm holding two cards. One, if I turn this around, it's the reduced fare. Two, accessoride. You can put.
Magician, look at that.
Hey, see, Scott got it right, quick as a whistle. Thank you, Scott. No, I'm serious, because some people didn't even realize this, and it's really funny too. The thing is that they're both traveling cards, as you guys say, and I know where everyone's saying. We can put these in traveling cards, but we cannot ever put in the same reduced fare or the same full fare because it messes up the software.
Right.
So say, like, if I have a reduced fare card, I put in the travel. If I have my accessoride card, like now it's not mine, it's my mother's, and she has a reduced fare, they're both separate brains, but it will keep us tracking budget. It has been working on the low-income families, seniors, and people with disabilities, but as we always use the word accessibility because it's the easier word to say.
Sure.
So it's something that I will say, since I've been testing it, it's been working well. Yes, there's going to be glitches because we're not 100%. We have to test them out in each step. And I have to say, and I did bring, just in case, because everybody asked that question, got your back, guys, to make sure, because part of my other role as actor is to let everyone to follow the steps. Steps are the key. The key is to make sure everyone's realizing how they can budget your amount of money. And so far I've seen a lot of our disability worlds, and I'm only going to say disability, it made it easy for them because now they don't have to stress themselves. They see the weekly, they're happy. When they get to the month, they just, instead of putting in, they'll put in their amount so they can put it in so they get every month from their money so they can budget. That's the only thing we have to do. So thank you guys for a lot of what you do on this.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One of the things that I think needs to be done, and I told this to Jamie when we had our meeting yesterday about Omni, you need to let the public know that important changes are coming, that you will soon be able to find out your balance on the screen, or your transfer was accepted, or you've reached the limit on your free rides, or something.
Yeah, we are working on packaging that information as well, so I know that a lot is going on to show that, especially coming into the new year as MetroCard really goes away, and of course, your only option will be left.
Something like, you like Omni now, wait till you see what's coming.
Yeah.
Just something to get people excited.
Like that tagline.
What,
You must have watched Mad Men, I like that logo.
to follow up what Andrew was saying and what I've been saying, summed up that when I worked here at the MTA a long time ago, nobody thought of all of these electronic communication devices and everything else. You just pay with a token, actually, which I understand and that worth a lot of money. If people want to turn them in, almost like an antique, but that's something else. But the thing is that it is really important, and what Andrew, I think what you were just talking about, is communication to the public about all of the things. It's nice that we know, and people who know that we're involved here, God bless them, at least call me. But I think it is communication on this, which is something entirely new, is something that needs to be even done. I'm not criticizing you. It's difficult to get the message out to the public, but maybe even more.
Yeah. So, you know, our Chief Customer Officer, Shanifa Riera, has made it her mission to make sure we meet customers where they are. And, you know, everything under her control. Here, our marching orders has been really, you know, every single challenge.
I've spoken to Shanifa about this, so.
Make sure we're on the front line of this and get ahead of it before problems are created, right? And I think we are doing that. There's always room for improvement, and there's always room to change messaging accordingly, depending on what's going on the ground and what we're seeing in the feedback loop. But one thing I can assure you is the changes that happen because customers give us feedback. The minute that customer feedback comes through, we quickly react to that. It's not like we sit on it. If we see an issue that is bubbling up, we make sure we get out in front of it to make sure we address it. So, yes, a lot of the suggestions that are being made here are something that we definitely take to heart and will definitely take back.
There was a period of time where charges did not reflect on your account, or you were, you know, it took a day for it to actually show up. So you thought you got a free ride or something. Then all of a sudden you see additional charges, and there was some really miscommunication, I think, during the initial rollout.
Learned opportunities from that too, right? So,
Sharon.
Could you help me understand the procedure? You're coming here from out of town as a tourist, and you want a weeks of rides card.
Sure.
Can you do that before you get to New York, or if you get to New York, you go to one of these machines and register? What's the procedure?
The choice is yours, right? You can the choice is yours.
The choice is yours.
Believe it or not, many international customers are very familiar with the Tap and Ride system. They have it in Europe, they have them in other places around the country. So when they come here, they know they look up information, right? When you travel, you want to make sure you know where your destination and what happens. Whether you get here from an airport or Penn Station or Amtrak or what have you, you know that you have options. You can either tap your personal credit card, or, you know, you can get if you want to remain anonymous, you have the option to go to a machine and get yourself a mounting card.
But if you tap your credit card,
Yes.
does it start automatically noticing that you've made 12 rides?
Absolutely.
And gives you the
If you use the same card.
Because that didn't happen.
As long as you use the same credit card,
Yeah,
right?
I understand.
Yes. So that is basically.
Same credit card or same Omni card or same phone app.
Same credit card, either credit card or the credit card on the phone, they're two different things. You know, if you have a dog, right, and you give them the code on the back of their neck, it's the same thing with the Fair Media. This Fair Media, this credit card has a different code, and the same credit card on your phone.
Same credit card on the phone and.
Two different things.
Okay,
So the system now recognizes that.
That's an important thing to know.
But this is, why this is so critical is because when you first start traveling as a family of 4, and you want to do a pass back, right, you're not going to get the fare capping. Because you're sharing with other people. It only works for one person. You have to, so it's actually quite good because let's say you have 2 credit cards between the parents, right? And 2 kids. It's a little bit more complicated when you have 3 kids. But you have a credit card, a phone, a credit card and a phone. You can do 4 different taps. And then each person can get their capping.
So if you use your phone, you have to use it consistently.
Right.
Correct.
Yes. Stewart.
And sort of a related question.
Jack, you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just get this. About usage and fares, so it's like a 2-part question. So, and we talked about it before you came to the, so, you don't have the single paper Omni option. What's the true cost of that? Because it's not the actual fare. What would it cost someone from out of town to purchase a single card?
I mean, the day pass.
No, a one trip,
The one trip.
right, it's the paper single Omni card.
$3.25, isn't it?
It's 25 cents more than the regular fare.
Correct.
Okay. So then, in terms of usage right now, are most people using credit cards?
Absolutely.
Versus Omni, right. So there's, no price disadvantage. Meaning, you're buying an Omni card, you're investing in the card, that's a one-time charge, right? With credit cards, if you pay on time, right, there are no disadvantages of credit cards.
Absolutely not.
Right, and, if you do have a family, right, or there are no changes between transfers, rules, or, time limits for
And there
with
are,
credit cards or without any cards.
I can,
Right.
also say that there are advantages to using certain credit cards, right? Like American Express might offer its customers, $2 off for using their credit card on Omni. There's promotions that run. I'm an American Express customers. I've seen it, targeted to me. You live in New York. If you use your American Express with Omni, we'll give you, $2 off or whatever the amount
Well,
is.
how do you know what your credit card is doing?
Every single credit card offers a section in their promotional section that tells you where you can get discounts for the month or what have you.
I have a MasterCard, not an American Express. I have never seen anything on my monthly bill, and
That's up to the credit card provider. We have nothing to do with that.
Citibank, I think Citibank, maybe you want to contact the banks that issue credit cards, specifically Citibank, which issues MasterCard, not.
Something we could take back to
I just wanted to
promotional.
say thank you, but then related to the question from before, so if you are using your credit card, whether you're a visitor or a resident, knowing on the website, if they do their research in advance, or if there's signage, they'll see your status information is very beneficial.
Sure.
Jack had a question. Jack, go ahead.
I was curious, so with kind of a two-prong, are you planning on doing any kind of customer ambassador, program in the new year once the changes made, something maybe not quite as big, but like what was done
Well,
for the Team Network?
Doing that now. Charlie Zen has we have all over the system right now,
Okay.
who are talking about the fare changes and big conversation of that with the Omni. And, there is a big push for that right now, and that's happening, and it's not just for New York City Transit, it's always at the railroads as well.
And then, just relatedly, I think, it's great that the customer service agents are out of the booth now. I think especially at big stations like Penn Station, Grand Central, Weston Archer, I notice it all the time. There's these lines of people with bags, tourists, who are lining up. It used to be at a MetroCard machine, now it's at an Omni machine, creating all this traffic, especially at Penn Station. They block the way. They don't realize that they can just tap with their credit card. So maybe if we could encourage the customer service agents, if they're out of the booth, to just go up and make sure people know, if they want an Omni card, great, but a lot of people don't know that they can just tap. And I've gone up and said, you can just use your credit card, and they'll be like, really? And all of a sudden, this huge crowd just vanishes.
Yeah.
Very satisfying, but.
We've seen that happen too, especially earlier on, and that's a message we'll get to our stations folks, absolutely.
I have a quick question. I know that the customer service center is, separate from the regular MTA one. Are you getting, actionable reports with the level of detail that you need?
Oh, my God.
Back?
Is
it too much?
I am on it every hour. I can tell you in the last hour from memory, their wait time was 18 seconds. I look at that like a hawk, because I need to know what's going on there to make sure what the impact is for our area and our customers. If I see something wrong, and Jennifer is also monitoring, and some other folks on my staff, once we see something that doesn't look right, we immediately contact our colleagues there to make sure that there's not something going on.
Is that a short-term solution to have the separate Omni-related customer service team, and that, it'll go away once the adoption is 100% and you feel comfortable?
I really can't comment on that because I'm not sure what the, long-term plan is there. But, that is a center that is handling the majority of the Omni inquiries, and we have that separately because of, many issues for that.
Okay.
All right, Sharon, you'll be the last question.
Okay. If you're a parent and, if you buy two Omni cards, but use the same credit card account for the two cards, but you only use your Omni card for access, does the credit card go berserk, or do you have to do them on two different credit cards? You see what I mean?
Fine. It's like having a different payment system.
So each card
It's like having
is
a new
unique.
credit card.
Each Omni card is unique.
Correct.
to the credit card billing.
Question?
Well, thank you very much for this.
I did want to say one thing, Trudy, the reduced fare card, you do not have to pay for. It doesn't cost $1 or $5.
I know, I'm on.
So I just wanted to say,
I
just want to make that clear that that's one
understand.
card you don't have to pay
It's
for.
over 50 years
Okay.
that I've been associated in one way or another with the MTA, so believe me.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to make that clear.
Thank you all for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
Good, thank you so much.
So I should take the Omnicard I have now and register it on my credit card account?
Omni.info.
Omni.info.
It's right here, Sharon.
A particular card, and then I can just use my Omnicard all the time.
Correct.
Register it credit card building.
You can tell it to replenish your card when it falls below a
Exactly.
certain amount. You specify the amount and from what account the replenishment is gonna come from. You have all these choices at omni.info.
And it's right here, Sharon.
Easy pass to the train.
Thank you all.
Easy
Thank
for
you.
to
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
In the back has the steps.
So, just caveat, so if you're paying your credit card bill on time,
Yeah.
there are no extra
That's not the.
costs associated
Give
with,
me one of those if you gave.
No,
with doing it.
no, not at all.
No, because we're talking about the true cost of a ride. They validated what I'm telling you, that most people, I don't know if most
Now,
people do research.
I'm sure most of you are wondering when we're getting our cards.
No.
And we're told early in January, but we will see exactly when.
January of what year?
2026. Oh, we will see. Obviously, it has to be that January. It can't be a whole year later.
It might.
Yeah, they won't do it now. Even the employees don't have them yet.
Andrew, can I just say, just, since everyone's like, just to let everyone know, I don't know when, can I talk to them? I did that.
Folks, can you listen here?
Sharon? Sorry, I was trying to tell you something extremely important. As you know, they mentioned about the customers, they're going out to, because the fare changes, not just on the subways, but on the railroads. I have attended some of them, Grand Central Madison, Atlantic, and Grand Central. And what I'm also seeing is, and I agree with everyone, you're seeing people going on the line, didn't even realize they can pay with their credit card. But what I'm also seeing is a lot of the customer service, and which I already mentioned yesterday to Chris and Jennifer, is this postcard, which ACTA was working on, the MTA Accessibility Committee was working on, I was on this committee, paraded the steps. It is easy for the disability world because you don't hardly see them getting upset because they follow the basic steps one by one. What I'm also seeing, and Stuart has a good point, in Brooklyn, a lot of them didn't realize they had these. And the problem is if they use the QR code for language, it translates to their language. So what I'm saying is this is a step to get them to register and make sure you have full control. Like Sharon, if you want to keep your card re-entered, as Andrew just said, that's why I have my thumb on it because he was right. You can decide how much do you want to put in. You decide. And there's videos and everything. I know we've been saying this for years. Those videos are there.
Where?
On omni.info.
So again, if you're purchasing an Omni card that's serialized and has a serial number,
Correct.
and tie the payments to a credit card.
Correct.
That's something else. But if you use an individual credit card out of your pocket, the rationale for registering would be to track your usage and see what's free.
Yes.
But you're paying by your swipe. You're not doing anything else with your credit card.
Okay, and you see,
That's your.
they don't make clear that you have to register the credit card.
Well, that was my point.
That was the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
And a lot of people would prefer to not have it on their credit card, and that's why they're opting for the Omni card, so they can keep everything separate.
I have a question.
Sure.
I know that we've been talking about this a lot. If a person doesn't register, on the app, will they still be able to see their balances, on display? I know it was a queue.
That's coming, but it's not coming real soon. I've been asking about that. Screens where you can just tap and see what your balance is and all of that. That's coming, but I don't know exactly when.
You gave him
And they don't either.
gave him a great phrase like that. But
You like Omni now?
You didn't give you a timetable.
Yeah, you
The
didn't.
reason why I asked the question and why it keeps coming up is because not everybody, is privy to signing up to the app, especially, if you have certain types of disabilities. You may not have uses with your hands to be able to go through this whole process. You might wanna be able to just tap and see what your balances are, especially if you're using paratransit.
Technically, with an Omni card, you could go into a customer service center and they'll tap and give you that information. Because they have it right in there.
And some people who have those hand issues, and thank you, Clea, because they have been getting assistance in some of the, their PCAC workers or their workers have been helping them set up, because we did have someone, an active member who's not with us anymore. He's not dead, so I'm just making that clear, because somebody might think that. He moved on to something else. But he was one of the testers with a device. It wasn't on phone, it was his watch, and it's linked to his computer. So it is a way of linking it when you go to omni.info. If I want to check my balance right now, I can check it on my cell phone. I can check it on my computer at home. I have the option.
I'm just curious, with MetroCard now, how would that type of individual check their MetroCard now?
Well,
Without assistance from a PA or
how would they check their Metro
Right.
card? The same way you would tap it, you put it in, the same way you would do anything.
No, but if they...
Doesn't matter in 2 weeks. Doesn't matter in 2 weeks.
No, I
I mean, they'll still take MetroCard.
They
The
They just
reason
won't
why
sell
I'm
them
asking is because what happens is if you don't have like, what they used to call a fair gate card, that opens the gate, you're trying to do multiple things at the same time, and some of my travelers have difficulty trying to do that. So you can track your balance with your Metro cards a lot of times ahead of time. People are still learning these new
Now,
apps and all this new technology.
how do they do it?
But this is what I'm saying, they already are accustomed to the Metro card, this has been going on for
They
years.
swipe to the station,
Yeah, they swipe
someone
at
else
the
could
station,
swipe?
somebody can,
Okay,
you can swipe at the station,
Right.
you can do it,
so it's coming
it's coming.
right, with a tap.
Keep watching, it's gonna get better, and this Friday, you won't be able to load, or get a new Omni from early morning tomorrow till like midnight tomorrow. That's when they're putting everything up to the cloud, which should improve the service, and the taps should be more accurate, you shouldn't have to tap twice, and all your figures should be on the account much more quickly with this being in the cloud.
But again,
Will
he
you be
can,
able to use the card for entrance?
Absolutely.
Oh,
But
it's
he-
just you can't
Can't load it
buy one.
or buy one.
confirm most people are using credit cards.
Yeah.
And not,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
And
an
the
overwhelming
postage
majority, but it is a majority. Because there's still, all the reduced fare users, all the fares users are using physical Omni cards, so.
Okay, let's go to old
Decent
business.
percentage are using Omni cards.
Does anyone have any items of old business?
I do actually, Andrew, because you and I spoke to this, and I asked you, could I bring this in the meeting?
You did?
7th Avenue in Brooklyn?
Yes.
You did that.
B&Q.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say B&Q. Well, 7th Avenue and 9th Street looks great, so I don't have to worry about that station. But what's the update on 7th Avenue in Brooklyn? Because the platform edges, they look like it, we already told you that somebody
When you
else.
told me this initially, like
Yeah.
almost a year ago,
Yeah,
that this was an issue, I raised it with the stations department, and they said they were going out, like, within a month to do it. And you say it's still not done at all?
none.
Nothing at all?
The only thing they did is spray paint where they're gonna be working on it, but have not seen any geos for that.
I'll find out.
And when they did the track works for the trains, when the queue was out, nothing was done.
That would have been a good opportunity.
Agreed,
Yeah.
but when are they gonna do it? Because somebody already fell on the edge
I'll find out.
on that.
Sharon?
Many of the station surfaces are tile, which is easy to clean and lovely. It's very slippery when wet. And potentially all sorts of torts of people suing the MTA for slipping. I was in Paris and it was wet, and they use something that is also easy to clean, I assume, but it has a surface, it's rough, and you don't slip.
You're talking about the floor?
Yeah, I'm talking about the floor. And if there's a way to suggest to whomever is refurbishing these stations, that they bear in mind that there are surfaces that don't have to be these slick, surfaces, it would be opportunity to consider using.
Because
My
we
station-
brought this up before, when they opened the Lorimer station, because I don't know if you all know that sometimes I walk on crutches. And so we, they clean the station, and whatever, liquid that they used to clean the station was a slick, smelled like cherries.
Yeah,
Great.
the one that
But it
actually
was
Edith
very
liked.
slippery, and we did bring it up to them, and I think they are doing something to make it a little bit more tactical, so that it's not as slippery.
Most floors and stations have a little grit to them,
Not the older ones she's talking about.
the older ones, yeah.
The older ones she's meant.
And maybe they've already made this transition. I know they did to the streets where the white lines used to be whoosh,
Yeah.
and they've now changed those and added a.
Yes. Any other old business?
Mega Charlie.
All right, we'll go to new business. Anyone have anything they would like to raise? Scott?
My wife brought it up yesterday. Every single local bus right in front, Museum of Sex.
Yes, I've heard that.
And she's a school teacher, and she's like,
That came up at a board meeting.
I said, what's that? I said, they paid a lot of money is what that is.
Yeah, that got some criticism, during the public session at the board, and, I think they're gonna look at that, because it makes it seem like the bus is the Museum of Sex.
Well, at least Scott said it very
Well,
tastefully.
depends on the bus.
And the occupants.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Nice touch.
Old business, it wasn't an issue that I raised, but
Sure.
asked about, the stroller pilot. Did we ever hear the results of,
Have not heard.
okay, so that's something to put on the tickler to see.
The only bus I saw has been added was the B-68. And I saw it because I'm on the 68.
No, I don't see the signage anymore touting.
I haven't seen that either.
So like, what is,
Q said he was gonna get back to me on that.
I'll find out.
I agree.
No, I'm not bringing it up, Fulton Street is immaculate.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's 3 years.
Exactly.
That's excellent.
A win is a win.
So 3 years, huh?
They have a new station manager, I just saw it.
They were even sweeping as we were getting off the train.
Maybe it's a holiday gift.
Or maybe they know you were coming, Stu.
Yeah.
I'm just,
We have some hands raised online.
Mr. X.
Mr. X, yeah.
I don't see him.
Maybe he's gone.
There we
Oh, no,
go.
there he is.
There he is.
Yes.
X,
Let me do Jesse Figueroa, because his comment is up there. Let me read it again.
That is more.
No complaints, I had an appointment okay. Someone's happy with the F&M swap.
All right.
You are.
Great.
Gratitude.
Expressing his gratitude.
Yeah, he's wanting his biography.
Thank you, Jesse. Glad you had a good experience there.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm still not leaving Central Florida. I'll be home with my mom's on December 29th. She's gonna be spending some time with me. So I'm happy to start returning in person soon. The doctor will
Good.
be me by January 5th. Thank you.
Great. Good luck. Mr. X, you have something to say?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can.
Hold on. Okay, regarding the Omni card, I stated it doesn't function like a debit card. It'd be nice if we could add time to it, so it functions like other biometric card. Nice if we could add value to it, so it functions like a biometric card to photo fusion. It's really annoying. You have to test the card at a station to see what your balance is. That would be nice. I've mentioned it several times.
Yeah,
we
that's
got-
coming. That's coming.
Okay.
I don't know if it's real soon, but it's coming.
Good. Regarding old business, I mentioned the ANC trains are constantly delayed between Canal and Port Streets. Mainly between those two, but technically between Canal Street and Lafayette Avenue. So if the powers that be want to alleviate this problem, they need to reopen Court Street Station and redesignate the Fulton Street local. Court Street, both stations, reopen the unused platform for tracks. Between the two stations, reopen tracks. Like the Fulton Street Local run to the Queens Terminal, at the Fulton Express terminal at Euclid Avenue, people leave there, they could run to the yard. And regarding new business, as I stated recently, it would be nice if the powers that be can bring the 7 train to Morris Center Station from 74th Station. It must run the Brooklyn Expressway, and it must be elevated.
I don't
If
see
they
that
do that,
happening.
well,
I
if
don't
they
see
can,
that happening.
if they can
They're
do
not gonna
that,
take
then-
7 train from Marcy Avenue Station.
And,
But
Yes, but they-
as far as the first thing you raised about the delays along the Fulton Street corridor in Brooklyn, you may have heard the announcement yesterday, since you were at the meeting, that Jano even mentioned from High Street to Lefferts Boulevard is going to get CBTC, and that should fix a lot of the delays.
you're forgetting something, double A. The ANC trains on the same tracks between Canal and Hoyt Streets. So it doesn't matter if you get CBCT. You need to reopen Court Street Station, redesignate for the Fulton Street logo, because if you don't, the trains will still be delayed.
You've got a transit museum in the Court Street station.
You can put those cars inside the Fourth Street yard, which is on ground level on 10th Avenue.
They're not gonna do that, unfortunately.
Well, they don't, then the ANC just will continue to be delayed with or without CBCT. It's that simple.
Basically closed, tell them that.
Yeah, it's a
I know,
transit
but,
museum.
I know, but.
Fort Skirmahorn.
Closed as a station.
It is.
So say it loud.
It's closed, of course it's closed. It's the transit museum, and occasionally they'll roll things through there, but I remember that local that started there.
Not used as a station.
No, it is not. It is not.
The only thing
Anybody else? Nobody else? Okay.
I got one quick thing.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if we could, have a conversation in the next couple of months about connectivity through the network. Thought there was a conversation at one point in time that riding on trains, you would be able to connect to the internet anywhere, in the tunnels, anywhere, but that doesn't happen now.
No,
So,
it's coming.
Would love to just hear an update on that and to know a little bit more.
Yeah, it's coming, but along with that, you know what else is coming? Between station availability to be on the phone, so you're gonna hear endless phones.
I mean,
I heard it today, and I don't know how the hell he had a connection between stations on the West Side IRT, but he was talking.
You get it somewhere, someplace you do get it.
Someplace, I guess, Bolden has put
Yeah,
it in.
I got it when I called you to tell you that everything else was.
You weren't in
up
the
and
station?
all of a sudden-
Oh, she was in the tunnel.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I
So
was in the tunnel.
they're making it fast.
But that worked, but everything else was not working.
Right.
We have full connection to Staten Island, though.
They added the draw on the 4-5 between Bowling Green and
Staten Island.
River Hall.
That I know.
One of the things.
Under River Tunnel, yeah.
Anytime they do work underground, that's one of the things they're including in that process,
Yeah.
but they don't wanna shut the system down just to do that.
Right.
So it's gonna take time for it to roll out.
It's gonna take a lot of time.
Do you think that,
Took a lot
yes,
of
go
time.
ahead.
Subway service.
I'm sure.
Forever.
Was another fault.
Yeah, there was. Talking about the B train incident?
Yes.
Yeah,
Which they caught the person.
lucky to be alive.
yes, very lucky.
And he fell on the local.
There's more and more reach out to schools, and, they've got more celebrities doing, don't do this. And, where are the parents? That's what I'd like to know.
Right here.
Yeah, I know.
Just when you're gonna climb on top of the
He
train,
sure is,
so
man.
here.
Have we heard anything about the, devices they were going to?
They started to put in some devices.
So they were locking all the train doors in between so that kids weren't able to climb up on the top.
What car types, though?
That was, I saw only on the 7, the J.
And the B.
But we have some new trains that you just,
Yes.
Yeah, the
It's on the
R211.
R211, yeah.
yeah, but we also have new trains that you can just walk all the way
I'll tell
through.
you
They're not.
That's what we're talking about, the open gangway cars.
Open gangway, yeah.
Yeah, those, you can't climb on the roof with those because it's all together.
Yeah.
You can't do it. On the other 211s, you can.
But just to let everyone know that kid and his accomplice was caught on the same day. When I was doing Atlantic, giving out the railroad information, the kids were actually caught 5 feet from me. When
I was wondering what else is being done,
well,
like.
that's
Devices were being installed between the cars to stop you from climbing on. I don't know how widespread that is yet, but they have installed some of those devices.
Well, we did have that guest speaker, Shantae, that came in.
You would have,
Yeah, you missed her, she's wonderful.
Yeah, she was great.
She's actually working, I think, with my son's school, you know, at making the kids ambassadors, because my son is
Chantel
actually
Cabrera.
Cabrera, right? He was one of the kids that saved two of the kids that tried to jump.
How old is your son, or what, wait, no.
He's 17, you want him?
Oh, look at her, she's giving you that.
You want him?
No, I've already been dealing with.
Gee, I've also asked them, why don't you install
Probably.
sensors so the conductor or the motor person, the train operator, will know when someone's up there and stop the train immediately?
Well, how you think they
And they said they're looking into that, but that's probably too costly a
I think
solution.
it would be costly, and I think they wouldn't be able to distinguish from a person, a squirrel.
Absolutely you could, if you do it by weight.
But maybe,
Well,
like.
But putting the devices between the cars up there,
Yeah, but how do you think the R211 stopped?
That's the technology, new cost, new installation,
Exactly.
manufacturing.
exactly.
But
Besides the minutes, is there another way that we track when we raise issues to follow up, besides the meeting minutes?
Just bring it up and we'll follow up.
We've, for the Metro North Committee has asked us, and it's probably a good reminder for us to do that here, to just keep a running list of the items that we've been discussing at our meetings and, you know, make sure that the follow-up is happening.
Separate than the meeting minutes, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, a little less in-depth and
You
a
used
little
to-
easier to follow.
Running Google Doc or something.
Yeah, essentially.
It's obviously still a problem,
but
obviously.
answering your question on the B, the way that B stopped, how do you think the kids felt? Because they sensed it, the train just go, but they stopped.
They wouldn't stop a train like that if they knew someone was on the roof.
Brakes and emergency got activated.
Yeah.
When the kid
That's what I'm saying. I
body
didn't,
part tripped it.
yeah.
Right.
It's a tripping mechanism on the subway.
And-
That's how the train.
And the Brighton line, because, you know, in that area, Brooklyn, Midwood, they know, they see something, they say something. Because I'm on that line every time, and when we did see a kid, I was on an old 68AB, they stopped the train. They said, Bravo B, leaving Kings Highway, stop.
Right.
That's-
Outdoor stations, if someone sees something and they can get a hold of someone, that call comes over the radio, that train is gonna be stopped slowly, en route or at the next station, and the train operator and the conductor will go and investigate.
And I'll say,
But only because it's.
That person survived is a miracle.
Well,
Yeah.
well, they did catch one kid at Kings Highway with 4 officers on both sides. And I have to tell you, he didn't know there were officers there. I'm like, how can you not know there's officers
There's a lot
both
of
standing?
undercovers over there, because there's a lot going
Yeah.
on with the kids, they're really, very, very mischievous.
Yeah, and they're not even serving on the roof now.
On the naughty list.
They are on the
I'm sure you're telling
list.
Santa too, as the head elf in New York.
And then, reporting back to the North Pole on these naughty children. No, it's true, though, they're.
Santa may, land on a roof, or on a train roof, or.
That's why the NYPD has the drones, they'll go right out.
Speaking of,
Anyone have any other?
You can't laugh.
We'll take a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Stewart beat you.
I don't care.
All right, thank you all. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Train